Welcome everybody to the very first episode of GCW Live in 2020. Tonight we have a huge main event, #1 contendership for the GCW Championship on the line. We have Randy Orton, Cody, and Rollins battling it out over the #1 contendership. And right now we're going to start off the show with the Extreme Style Champion. We're starting off with the Scottish psychopath, Drew McIntyre. McIntyre is just coming off a huge victory at GCW Judgment Day. Pretty much defeated the whole division in a battle royal. McIntyre in the end eliminated Shelton Benjamin to win the match. And now you gotta wonder what is next for McIntyre here. He has beaten the entire division. Now obviously we have still some singles matches to see with McIntyre, but who would be in line next for the title? That is something very interesting here, because nobody can really step up to the hard-hitting style of Drew McIntyre ever since he came in here to GCW in 2019 at the Royal Rumble. He has been so dominant, and McIntyre going to show the same kind of stuff like he did last year, this year I think. And now McIntyre is requesting for a microphone, and McIntyre, yeah, he's talking about how at GCW Judgment Day he beat the entire division, and tonight he has an open challenge to someone new that wants to take him on. And oh my god, could that be? That is Darby Allin. This is GCW's newest signee, GCW's first signee of 2020, just signed, Darby Allin, and he is stepping up to the Extreme Style Champion here, Drew McIntyre. And you gotta wonder, that's a huge challenge for Darby Allin here to take on his very first night on the job in GCW Live. This is going to be the very first match in GCW in 2020, and Darby Allin looks like he has his eyes on Drew McIntyre's Extreme Style Championship, looking him in the eye now, and you can see that size difference between the two. But Darby Allin seems very confident here, and we got to see how that works out here for him as we're getting ready to get this matchup started right here. Yeah, both men seem to be ready, but look at that size difference. A title not on the line, obviously, and here we go, lock up, and Drew McIntyre immediately controlling here, and Darby falling on his back now, getting at McIntyre, forearm strike, but it has no effect on McIntyre. And now McIntyre just taking down Allin with the clothesline, and now McIntyre choking him with that huge boot there in the throat of Darby Allin. The referee the referee's getting in there. Darby Allin obviously in the ropes, and Allin now getting back up, but McIntyre with a huge boot to the side of the head. And now McIntyre turns Allin inside out. Look at how Darby Allin landed there, now picking him up, carrying him around the ring. But Darby Allin able to get over. McIntyre got her and just tosses him out of the ring. And Allin just took a gigantic leap there out of the ring, landed on his back. That looked brutal, and you gotta wonder if that did some damage to Darby Allin's back. But there's McIntyre just sending him into the steel steps face first, and this might already be it. Darby Allin is down after that huge fall he took there to the outside, and now face first into those steel steps. But Allin, coffin drop. He is still alive, still some fight left here in Darby Allin now getting into the ring, looking for a tope suicida perhaps. There Darby Allin comes, tope suicida, but McIntyre caught him and suplexes him to the floor, landed on his back once again on that floor there on the outside. Brutal. And now I think this might be the matchup for Darby Allin. Two gigantic falls there to the floor. And I don't know if he can get back up from this. He's crawling back to the ring. I don't know even if he can, if that is such a good idea here by Darby Allin. Now he is on the ring apron and he kicks McIntyre in the face. Now that might be an opening here for Darby Allin. Darby Allin is on the top rope. What does he have in mind from there? McIntyre sees him, runs up, and a suplex by McIntyre. And again, he landed on his back, and now McIntyre going for the cover, but Allin is out at 2. Some last energy left here in Darby Allin, and Drew McIntyre wants to get that out of him with the Future Shock DDT setting up. Darby Allin catches him into the cover, upset here, cover, oh no, kick out by McIntyre, last second. But Darby Allin immediately following that up with the splash there, and now that backpack stunner stuns Drew McIntyre. And now Darby Allin running up towards the top rope, going for the coffin drop. Perhaps McIntyre moves out of the way, Claymore kick, and McIntyre just beat Darby Allin, I think, into the cover, and that is it. McIntyre wins. Still so dominant here in GCW, the Extreme Style Champion, Drew McIntyre. Huge victory here over the debuting Darby Allin. Great fight Darby Allin put up, but he came up short here against the Scottish psychopath. And we still don't have an answer on who will be next for McIntyre's Extreme Style Championship. But McIntyre seems like he's not done here yet. I think he wants to hit another Claymore on Darby Allin. This is really not necessary here. Oh, he misses. Darby Allin rolls out of the way. He has the title. Shot to the head. McIntyre retrieves to the outside. And even though he lost in a debut match here in GCW, Darby Allin just laid out Drew McIntyre in the post-match. And I always see Darby Allin standing here with the Extreme Style Championship. Is this something he has his eyes set on? He lost tonight. I don't know where he would be in line for a title match, but we will see in the following weeks. And ladies and gentlemen, earlier tonight, Vince McMahon did confront Chris Jericho about interfering in the GCW Championship match at Judgment Day, ruining the match. And McMahon has actually set a match between Chris Jericho and Finn Balor. If Balor wins, Balor will get a opportunity for Jericho's briefcase next week. And here comes Finn Balor, who just made his debut in the later parts of 2019. Had one match with Kenny Omega, came up short in that one, and now here in 2020, Finn Balor has the opportunity to make a name for himself here in GCW. And what would be a better way than beating Mr. Money in the Bank Chris Jericho and possibly taking the briefcase from him? I mean, that is a guaranteed GCW Championship match right there in that briefcase. That would definitely be huge for Finn Balor here to kick off 2020. But of course, that is easier said than done. Balor has still to go through Jericho here tonight, as we're kicking off the year with GCW Live. Controversial night at GCW Judgment Day. Randy Orton almost had Kenny Omega beat for the GCW Championship until Chris Jericho came out. He wanted to cash in Money in the Bank. He got RKO'd by Randy Orton on the outside. That obviously in a way distracted Randy Orton, and Kenny Omega was able to pick up the victory and retain his championship off of that. And fans were not happy with Jericho and Omega. They wanted a new champion that night, and to GCW management, Chris Jericho is the one to blame. Chris Jericho is the one who ruined the championship match at Judgment Day. And what a blow this would be to Chris Jericho if he would lose the briefcase to Finn Balor, not able to cash in for his GCW Championship opportunity. I don't think that would sit well with Chris Jericho. But let's stop speculating. Let's get this matchup underway. Let's see who's going to come up victorious in this one. Here we go. The bell has rung, and Jericho is telling Finn that he's definitely not getting his briefcase. Now locking up here, Jericho taking control of Balor. Got him in a headlock predicament right here. And Balor trying to fight out of it, and sending Chris Jericho into the ropes, but Jericho holding on to it. Balor got to break this, obviously. But Jericho boot to the midsection, and now a forearm here by Mr. Money in the Bank, and now Jericho stomping there into the midsection of Balor. Now Balor finding himself here in the corner. There comes Jericho. Balor got the boot up. Now some forearm strikes here by Balor into the ropes, but he runs right into the kitchen sink from Chris Jericho right there. And now Jericho celebrating himself here. Mr. Money in the Bank being cocky here. Back suplex connects very nicely onto Balor here. And now Jericho looking for the Bulldog. And that is obviously setting up Finn Balor for the Lion's Hold. There, but Balor catches Jericho and sends him onto the ramp there. That didn't look good for Jericho. Jericho now getting back up onto the ramp, but there's Balor, and what a dive! Dives right onto Jericho. Usually there's not a ramp there, so the dive goes a bit differently. And shotgun drop kick, sending Jericho back into the ring. Now Balor going to the top rope, going for the double foot stomp. Right to the back of the head of Jericho. That didn't look good. Now Balor going to follow it up, perhaps going for the reversed Bloody Sunday, but Jericho doesn't want that to happen. Sends Balor flying. And out a backbreaker here by Jericho. And that hurt Balor. Now how can Jericho follow that up with Balor trying to find a shelter on the outside? But Jericho says no. Goes for the dropkick. Balor goes to the outside flying. Now Jericho on the outside here too, sending Balor into the steel post head first. And that might be it here for Jericho to take advantage of Balor, but Balor kicked to the midsection of Jericho. He's still kind of caught there between the ropes. Balor on the second rope going for a foot stomp, but Jericho sweeping the legs of Balor, sending him back first. Lion sold out by Jericho cover, but Balor kicks out at 2. And yes, that's what I figured. Setting up for the Judas effect, wanting Balor to get up here. Judas effect, but Balor reversal into the reversed Bloody Sunday, sending Jericho on the back of his head. Now Balor going for Sling Blade, but Enziguri kick rocks Balor. Now Jericho going for the Code Breaker, but no, Balor caught him, sending him down. Foot stomp, but Jericho reverses that into the walls of Jericho, trying to get him in, and it is locked in. And yes, all the pressure is on Finn Balor. Does he have to tap out? Referee is down, asking Balor, but Balor still fighting. Some fight left. in Finn Balor here. Huge opportunity, obviously, for Balor. And Balor able to roll through, and now sending Jericho into the ropes. Sling blade by Balor. He just turned around the match there. Balor going onto the outside now, going onto the top rope, going for the coup de grace perhaps. But Jericho grabs the legs of the referee, and Balor is kind of perplexed there by what is Jericho doing now. Pushing the referee out of the way. There comes Balor, mid-air coat breaker. Chris Jericho is a genius. Even though this was not 100% fair, Jericho picks up the victory. And that means the briefcase is going to stay with Jericho all the way. Omega, #1 contender that we're going to crown tonight. Be careful, Chris Jericho is watching you. Very unfortunate for Balor, but Jericho was the smarter one here tonight. And ladies and gentlemen, a very mad and upset Jon Moxley has just arrived here at the building. Jon Moxley still being very upset over what happened at Judgment Day. Seth Rollins stealing the win, stealing his chair, hitting him in the face, and picking up the win in that triple threat match at Judgment Day. And here comes another man that is very upset with what happened at GCW Judgment Day. He had the GCW Championship, almost won, was going for the punt kick, Jericho's music hit, and Omega was able to take advantage of that, hit the one-wing angel on Orton to defend his GCW Championship. But Randy Orton has now another chance here tonight to secure himself a #1 contendership for the GCW Championship, and word has just come in. The winner of this match will face Omega next week for the GCW Championship here on GCW Live. And this man finds himself here in this match because he won a tables match against AJ Styles at Judgment Day. Now, obviously, very interesting scenario. If Cody wins the match, it will be member of the Elite versus member of the Elite, because Cody would face his leader in Kenny Omega. And you have the Young Bucks here with Cody coming to ringside. And you gotta wonder, what is Cody's job here tonight? Is he supposed to win? Or is he just supposed to make sure that Randy Orton is not getting another chance at the GCW Championship? But obviously, Cody coming into this matchup with a lot, and I mean a lot of momentum. He beat AJ Styles. Not only beat him, he injured him after that powerbomb through the table, which was brutal. And we gotta see when AJ Styles is gonna be back. But here comes Seth Rollins, who also found his way into the match here. Looking back, I think he's afraid that Jon Moxley is lurking somewhere here behind the scenes. And he has to finish my train of thoughts here. Rollins found his way into the match here by winning the triple threat match between himself, Jon Moxley, and Roman Reigns at Judgment Day. Obviously, this is the GCW Championship division, and if you want to have a championship match, you gotta win matches. So everyone in this match here tonight has earned their spots, and I would say let's get ready for this #1 contenders match. Bell rings, and here we go. Rollins with the kick, and Cody immediately going after Rollins. Now kick into the face of Orton. Cody going into the ropes here, but there comes Rollins. Nice kick to Cody, and there comes Orton with one clothesline to Seth. Another clothesline to Seth. Now Orton going after Cody here in the corner, going for his punches, but there's Rollins taking advantage of that, perhaps looking for a buckle bump, but changes direction and launches Orton right into Cody there, and drop kick, sending Orton to the outside fully. Now Seth Rollins here in the ring, going after Cody. Falcon Arrow, beautifully executed, and oh my god, I think I hear this is the music of the Death Rider Jon Moxley, and there he is, and Rollins doesn't look happy, and I expected this to happen, and this didn't take long. Now what is Rollins gonna do? Sending the referee in between him and Moxley, but there's Rhodes' disaster kick, and there comes Moxley, and now he is going after Rollins. Punches to the back of the head of Rollins. Now the referee going in there. I mean, it's a triple threat match, no disqualifications obviously, but still, Jon Moxley's not supposed to be a regal knee to Rollins. Brutal, and now Rollins trying to get out of there, and Moxley just chases after him. Now they're both on the outside, Orton and Cody looking on here, but Moxley on the outside getting ready for his suplex slam there on the timekeeper's table. Good night, Rollins. The Death Rider is in town. And I think that was it for Seth Rollins' chances at a #1 contendership for the GCW Championship, as Moxley's looking on, but you can see Cody distracted there, and Orton is waiting. RKO! RKO out of nowhere. Now Orton, oh no, Nick Jackson on the ring apron. Nick Jackson on the ring apron. Orton clotheslining Nick Jackson off the apron, but there comes mad super kick, and just pure hate for the Elite here, and the crowd is going nuts. They hate what is going on here, and oh yes, the boos even get bigger because someone just popped up on the ramp. It's GCW champion Kenny Omega. The champion is here to watch who's going to become the #1 contender for his championship. Orton just recovering from the super kick RKO, but Rhodes catches him. Cross Rhodes, cover, kick out by Orton. And I think Cody and the Elite thought that was it, but Orton was able to kick out. Now Cody, what is he going to follow it up with? Perhaps going for the vertebraker on Orton, but Orton slips out. RKO, and now he has Cody looking to Omega, and Randy Orton is #1 contender once again. This is not the result the Elite wanted. It's Randy Orton versus Kenny Omega next week for the GCW Championship. There's also more. We will have the finals of the Cruiserweight Classic. Will Ospreay, Rey Mysterio, and then the huge main event for the GCW Championship, obviously, and so much more. We'll see you next week on GCW Live 2020.